We're so excited today here on the bridge to welcome in Billy Allen and the Pollies. Thanks for coming in, guys. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you for having us.
You know, I don't generally do this, but I'm going to just tell everybody who's listening, everybody who's watching, that this band debut album comes out at the end of this year, beginning of next year. These release dates can change 7 times in the next month, but it is an amazing album. And this is a band that a lot of people are going to get to know. They're going to be at Knuckleheads tonight. And it will, I promise you, it is the last time you will ever get a chance to see this band in that kind of intimate environment. It's just... So we're getting you in early on this one. The new album is called Black Noise. It's coming out on Single Lock, and we're just really super excited about it. So what does the band sound like? Well, you're kind of genre free, Jay.
Yeah, I don't think we too much care about the genre of it. It's just about the music, I guess, whatever makes us happy playing.
You know, it felt to me like maybe instead of trying to put a label on it, maybe it's a sense of place. It's got Muscle Shoals written all over it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it has to. We're from there. So growing up in that atmosphere, it's got to have a little piece of that, a part of it. You know, it's just going to.
You know, I read someplace your take on growing up around Muscle Shoals and not really recognizing when you were young just how special it actually is.
Yeah, I remember doing a radio interview for a local Shoals station and telling them that I didn't really realize that music had came out or that was so popular. The Aretha Franklin, Wilson Pickett, a lot of pop stuff, even some pop country stuff in the 80s had all been recorded there by friends of mine that I'd gotten to know over the years and got to play with. And it took me till about 19, I guess, to realize that I was watching these players.
Yeah, you know? That's how old you were first time you walked in and did something at Fame Studios.
Yeah, the first time I did something at Fame, I was 19, I think. John worked there, a drummer worked there way more than I did. But first time I did, I think I was 19, 20, somewhere in there, and it was with a guy by the name of Dylan LeBlanc. And me and the Pollies got to travel around with Dylan for about 6 years or so. Me and John played on the first 3 records periodically throughout, and then the 4th record, Renegade, all 4 of us were the backing band on that one. But Fame, yeah, I walked in there as like a 19, 20-year-old. We used to sneak in. Ben Tanner was the house engineer at the time. And so we'd sneak in late at night and do stupid stuff and record music.
So the Pollies have been a band for over a decade and multiple albums, but now, here comes Billy Allen. I think the story of how you first became aware of Billy is pretty amusing.
So some friends of ours were in town. They were playing at the local theater in Florence. And after their sound check, I met Brittany upstairs at this local bar. And upstairs you could smoke, and downstairs you couldn't, whatever weird law that is in Alabama. But sure. It had something to do with kids being allowed in the bar or something, I don't know. But anyway, nobody hung out upstairs. So it was awesome. I would go over there and we had a couple of drinks, got some bar food.
And just to set it up, by Brittany, you mean Brittany Howard?
Yeah, I guess I should say Brittany Howard. Yeah. And so we were actually closing our tabs out and there was a cover band playing downstairs. And I thought they had taken a break and that they were just playing a song on the radio I hadn't heard. And then I heard this crazy note. And I was like, there's nobody on the radio singing like that. And walked around the balcony upstairs and looked down, and it was this guy I'd never seen before. And Brittany comes behind me. She's like, who's that? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm about to find out. And I walked down the stairs and tapped the drummer on the back while he was playing. I felt really bad about it. I was like, who's that singing? And he was like, it's Billy Allen. And I was like, cool. And at that point in time, we were traveling a lot with Dylan and Nicole Atkins. And so our schedule was really busy.
And so you did nothing.
So we did nothing for like, I don't know, 7 years or something. It was, I don't even think me and Billy spoke to each other until about 7 years later. And then we went to Fame. And I think that was the first time any of us had ever met Billy or Billy had met any of us, and recorded a couple of cover songs. And I think after like the first one, Billy came out and was like, oh, I love y'all. And I was like, let's make a record, you know.
So my understanding is that, you know, when Billy went into the studio for the first time to sing with you guys, I don't know, Billy, if you were overwhelmed by the band, but you completely missed the point where you were supposed to start singing.
Absolutely, I started dancing.
He came flying out of the vocal booth and just started doing this jig in the middle of the cutting room.
Well, I think we've talked enough. We really want to hear some music. Billy Allen and the Pollies here on The Bridge.
Is this what my life has become? Hopeless standing before the one. I should be immune to this emptiness. From the desert many times I've overcome. Oh, let the ground cover me. I don't want your sympathy. You never cared for me when I gave you all of me. Let the ground cover me. I don't want your sympathy. You never cared for me when I gave you all of me. Did I ever have your heart? Or did you just need some place to stay? Oh, I should have known that your selfishness is way ahead, always seems to lay. Oh, let the ground cover me. I don't want your sympathy. You never cared for me when I gave you all of me. Let the ground cover me. I don't want your sympathy. You never cared for me when I gave you all of me. When I gave you all of under your spell, like a fly, I was captured in your web. Oh, but I gave in, started drinking myself to hell. And now I'm back. Sympathy, you never cared for me when I gave you all of me. Let the ground cover me. I don't want your sympathy. You never cared for me when I gave you all of me. When I gave you all of me. When I gave you all of me. You don't care. I gave you all. I gave you all. All of me. All of me. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I told y'all. Again, Billy Allen and the Pollies tonight in the Gospel Lounge at Knuckleheads. Yeah, woof. Whew. Can you imagine hearing that tonight in that space? So you guys start to record together and all that, but before you do that, you've got to have some songs. And Billy, you'd been doing all those covers. So you started meeting up with Jay over in his garage, and you guys had to figure each other out.
That's right. Oh, me. You want me to talk? Yeah, so we got together, and I admit the first time we met up in his garage during the pandemic, it was a bit rough, you know. It was like, what are we gonna write? You got a song, you know. So we tried to find our way, and we found it through a song that he had already, and I just added a few lyrics to it, and we started with that one. It was simple, it was easy, and then we just moved on, and we just started writing. He just started teaching me how to actually write, because I never considered myself as a writer before meeting this guy. I never wanted to do that. I said, okay, I'll sing anybody else's song and make it my own, you know. But he pulled it out of me.
So once you get the songs under your belt, you'd mentioned Ben Tanner. And of course, Ben has been the house engineer at Fame. He was in the Alabama Shakes, co-founder of Single Lock Records. So you did a quick little demo and shot it off to him about 10:30. How long did it take him to get back to you?
As long as the song was. And it was later than 10:30. I felt really bad. He had like a little girl at the time. I think she probably was about 1 or 2. And yeah, I think it was around like 11:30 when I actually sent it. And I was driving home from the studio. Yeah.
And boom, done.
Yeah, well, there's another story before that where the Pollies were considering cutting another record, and I had a meeting with Ben the day after we recorded those covers at Fame. And I walked in, and I was like, I'm just going to change this meeting to talk about Billy's record. And I showed him the 2 covers that we did, and Ben was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. So this next Polly's record, and just moved straight out. Like, it was just like, and I was like, man, am I crazy? You know, like, is this not as good as I think it is? And then we did that song, and he called me, and I'll never forget it. He's like, I was like, hello, and he goes, that boy can sing. And, you know.
So Ben actually sat in with the Pollies for a while and had to apologize to you one time.
He was a member, and to this day, he never quit. I never had to fire him or anything. He just kind of appears and disappears from time to time. But yeah, the Shakes, the way we met them is they opened up for us in Huntsville, Alabama, which is kind of like their hometown almost. And I remember me and Ben being out in the crowd and our jaws to the floor. And so they asked Ben to come play with them. And at the time, they weren't doing anything like huge, like they ended up doing. But the first time Ben had to cancel a show was he called and he's like, man, I'm sorry, I got to cancel. And I was like, why? He's like, well, we got this offer to do SNL.
So I guess I'm just wanting you to tell that story, because between his initial dismissal of Billy and, you know, ditching you for a little show like SNL, right. It's like it was just payback when you sent him that demo late at night.
It's almost unforgivable, actually.
So, you know, you've got some really good producer chops of your own, but you guys turned this record over to Ben.
Me and Ben co-produced it, and yeah, I think sorry.
I was going to say I strongly voiced that kind of. I wanted them both on this.
Yeah, I think me and Ben hadn't done a project together at that point, probably in the last like 6-7 years or something. And we used to work together all the time, but I felt very comfortable. Ben's the only person that can tell me no, and I'll listen. So that's a good thing for me. And
it's a spectacular record. I mean, it's really, really good.
Thank you.
The thing that really shocked me after I listened to the record and I was reading about it, that most of it was recorded live with minimal overdubs, which is just really, like when you listen to the record, it just does not sound like, it sounds like meticulously done.
We're a seasoned band.
Yeah, we used to do records where, like, you know, I think some people probably still do it that way, where, you know, you get as much as you can and then you overdub a bunch of stuff. And on this one, well, the Pollies had kind of gotten to a point. We did a record with Dave Cobb for another artist, and that kind of made us realize that there was something special about the four of us playing in the room together, and that alone was enough. And so Ben actually was the one that told me that I was wanting to put Billy in the room with us playing, so that way we had no choice but to keep his vocal, because it would bleed over into the drum mics and everything else. And Ben was like, we're not doing that. He's going to go back here in the vocal booth.
Well, we'd love to hear some more music if we could. It is Billy Allen and the Pollies live today here on The Bridge.
Don't wanna be invited to the bar, to the car, to the spot where the after party. No, I don't wanna be invited to your house to get high or get drunk on the couch tonight. I don't wanna be invited. But I'd rather die. The DJ's playing the jams tonight. The drinks still flowing heavy. But I think I'll say forget the world tonight. I just don't, don't wanna be invited to the bar, to the car, to the spot where the after party. No, I don't wanna be invited to your house to get high or get drunk on the couch tonight. I don't wanna be invited.
to the bar, to the car, to the spot where the after party. No, I don't wanna be invited to your house to get high or get drunk on the couch tonight. You can count me tardy. I don't wanna be invited. That was a treat just for you all. That's unreleased.
That song is called Invited, and it is going to be on the new album that is coming out December, maybe January. It's not even up for pre-sale yet. It's called Black Noise. It's going to be coming out sooner as opposed to later on Single Lock. And, you know, we really try to keep this about artistry and all of that, but I just want to repeat that bragging rights, I saw Billy Allen and the Pollies before their first record came out at Knuckleheads in a gospel lounge. I mean, the bragging rights up for grabs tonight are just beyond measure. Don't come back to me and tell me that you didn't see this show on down the road. Yeah, and of course there are not a lot of seats, so get on that now. Billy, I want to talk about your beginnings. Your mom was in the church choir. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing that when you're 3 years old, she's imagining what you might do if left to your own devices. Mm-hmm. So she just kept you right by her side.
She did. I couldn't sit in the back of the church with the rest of the kids. I had to sit right by her feet in the choir stand. And she was a minister as well, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I picked up everything there. I learned everything, and I would go home and sing all the songs that they did in church service. And then one service, they was like, okay, get him up, because they heard that I could sing. Get him up, and I redid a song that was played right before, and I've been singing ever since, at 3 years old.
Wow. So church music at the age of 3, and then you started playing in bar bands when you were 16.
I'm about 16, yes.
Yeah, so what's different between the two?
The difference, the freedom. You know, I don't have to worry about, containing myself. I can just let go and be who I want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Yeah. Well, that whole thing about being who you want to be, though, I mean, you had conversations with Jay, and I kind of got the feeling that Jay was kind of on you to be you.
Exactly. And you lose that along the way when you do covers your entire life. You know, you lose who you are, and you begin to... A Bruno Mars song works to get this crowd going, so you depend on Bruno Mars' song. You know, now I have to depend on my music, our music. So yes, it's a difference. It's a different world.
Now, I hope I get this story right. I kind of want to hear the origin story from your perspective.
Okay.
But I believe that you were over at Fame Studios, and I think that you were talking to... I'm scanning my notes here. I think that you were talking to the guy, the Hall, Mr.
Rodney Hall, yes.
Yeah, I think you were talking to him. And he said something about the Pollies wanting to record with you. And I don't know if he was like inaudible, right? But you thought this band was from Europe?
I did. He said this band, apparently he said toured Europe, but I thought from Europe is what he said. And I was like, I jumped on it. Yes, I didn't know who they were. I was like, yes, let's do it. Anything to get me over there. So
so we flew over from England,
from England,
got in the studio, yeah.
But as I started to listen to the music and listen to them and see what they're about, I realized that they were from the area, but they're actually good. So yeah. and I must say, he brought in a bunch of other musicians for like sessions, probably about 2 or 3 years, and we couldn't find the magic. There's a magic, there's a connection between the singer and the band you must have. And when I heard these guys, I marched in there and said, Rodney, this is my band.
That's pretty great, right? So I just want to check to see how forward-looking you are. The Pollies as a band, of course, had a big career before they partnered up with you. They have toured Europe.
Yes.
Have you done anything about getting a visa?
No. I've been reading up on it, but no, hadn't played any parts yet.
You know, that might come back to bite you.
No, I got to get on it. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. And it's so great. And I don't know that there's even a question here, but here's an established band that's partnering up with a singer, and a lot of established bands wouldn't have the emotional capacity to do something like that. And I don't know which one of you that I should be attributing this to, but the concept of zero competition and all collaboration.
I mean, I think the four of us and the Pollies before Billy, we'd kind of established that a little bit. And then, I don't know, I never really wanted to be a front man to begin with. I always wanted to be a side guy and just playing guitar. And I felt like I was forced to do it. And then we started backing other artists, and that was fun for me. And so, while I wanted to make another record as the Pollies, I'd much rather have made a record with Billy, you know. But yeah, I think in all bands, that's a good way to at least start. And if you can keep it that way, then longevity is pretty good. You know, if you can keep it that way. Look at U2, 4 original members, they share everything pretty equally. I'm sure they collaborate very well. They've been doing it for a long time.
Well, I can't wait to be able to share the entire album with everybody. Black Noise coming out on Single Out Records, and we'd love to hear one more song if we could.
Yeah.
Every day I'm getting higher every day. Hard to satisfy me with the taste of you still lingers. I can't stop calling your name. Every week is the same old thing. Oh, you're in my head or in my bed. Always in my head or in my bed. I thought you wanted him. I thought you wanted him. Walking that line, just doing my time, and my friends gather around me. I only find myself thinking about you. I can't stop calling your name. Each week is the same old thing. Oh, you're in my head or in my bed. Always in my head or in my bed. I thought you wanted him. I thought you wanted him. Even
Jay Burris on guitar, Clint Chandler on keyboard, John Davis on drums, Spencer Duncan on bass, Billy Allen vocals. The new album is called Black Noise. It's going to be out someday. The waiting begins. But you can hear them tonight at the Gospel Lounge over at Knuckleheads, guys. I know that being on the road is tough, and coming in and playing here for all of us is nothing short of a gift, and we just cannot thank you enough for taking the time and doing the extra work today here on the bridge. Again, let's hear it. Billy Allen and the Pollies.
Thank you.